How are you guys doing? Good morning. I'm doing my live early on Wednesday and Friday because I have to start my day early. Getting ready to go to the gym. So this is my gym jacket. Normally, if you see this jacket, I'm either getting ready to go to the gym or if it's raining. It's very comfortable. Okay. All right, guys. I made this. I'm gonna make this video very, very brief as possible. I don't know how long I'm gonna stay on it, but I think I have a good amount, 20, 25 minutes before I get my day started. Birth rate. Birth rate is now on the decline from last year. As soon as COVID kicked in, COVID started. I think it started impacting the world. I think last year February. Well, birth rate has declined drastically. United States now have less. I think so far they're looking at 300,000 less baby that's going to be born in 2021 than 2020. They said the number might be bigger than that because people are no longer having kids. Japan birth rate declined 10 or close to 10%. Italy had a decline of like 24%. France had a decline of like 14%. China had a decline in birth rate at like 7%. Russia, every country basically, they're not having kids. I mean, they're having kids, but not as much as they used to because of what people are what people are seeing and what's going on around them. But a lot of times you can't really blame people. I mean, it's just the world is getting crazy and it is what it is. But I just want to let you guys know that the birth rate has declined drastically, which I thought was like, well, birth rate decline, death rate increase, but the population is still growing, but the growth of the population has slowed down drastically. So that's what's going on. But at the same time, people might not have as much kids again this year and the next year. So that's what they're afraid of. They're afraid of this decline will not stop as global events get more obvious and get more, bigger, like earthquakes, volcanoes, tsunami, hurricanes. It's going to be hard for people to. I, I mean, it's going to get worse. So I do see this decline going into 2022, 2023, and 2024. People are going to be having a lot less kids now. But it is what it is. You just have to deal with that. Anyway, yeah, another thing that's going on right now too is that, which is interesting, Russia is no longer tied to the EU, which is the European Union. Russia is now have actually focusing more their alliance with China. So just to let you guys know that there is a tension building in over there about for Taiwan. So if with the Chinese actually want their hands on Taiwan, and the United States is not letting up, they're actually so they already have sent troops over there to see what's going on with China and what's the purpose of showing so much interest in Taiwan. But unfortunately, the Chinese is not backing down. They now have the biggest navy in the world, and now they're siding with Russia, and Russia is also siding with China. So Russia is officially broken away from the EU, and they are the biggest country in Europe, by the way, Russia. So basically, Russia is like 60% of Europe. So basically, the EU just lost 60% of their population. And just to be honest, where we got the most boots normally win any form of war. So I'm just putting that out there. So the Russia, the Chinese are no alliance to get. They're not together. There's a big alliance going on there between both countries. Anyway, I'm going to go now to earthquake updates. I don't want to keep blabbering about that part. So keep you just to keep you guys updated with these quakes. Now, California, you guys are getting stumped again, man. Northern California, Oregon too. Oregon, you guys have almost magnitude 3 over there. In Lustin, Oregon, West Lustin, Oregon, right over there in Lustin, Oregon, it's very active. Now, California, you guys are getting stumped. Now, Yountville, California, I hope I pronounced that correctly, or Yountville, California. big quakes. So okay. The south of California getting big quakes. Um, Salish Valley, California, big quakes, 3.1 this morning. Um, Tom's Place, California, big quakes, 2.8. And Nevada, Mina, Nevada again. Mina, Nevada is getting extremely active with quakes over there. Nevada got hit again. Where else getting hit right now? Utah. Utah is getting hit because of the quake line that run through California. So they're basically getting is the quakes are actually happening extremely deep right now. The quakes go out. I heard what I'm hearing right now is that these quakes are actually can go all the way down to 35 miles in the ground. They're coming from 35 miles in the ground. So places like Utah will be affected because even though Utah don't sit on the fault line, they're actually when these quakes go off on the under the earth where the fault line is, it can also affect places like Utah because keep in mind it's 35 miles down in the dirt. That's a long way. Now, also New Mexico constantly getting beat. You guys are getting some big quakes today again. So be very aware over there in New Mexico. And also Oklahoma is getting big quakes today too. You remember that little region I told you about? Let me break it down for you guys. If you're in north of New Mexico, north of Texas, south of Oklahoma, and south of Kansas, that little piece of land right there is extremely active right now. Mexico, again, southern Mexico and northern Guatemala, you guys already have a quake already, and it's a 5.0 magnitude. So I've been watching this for weeks now, and that area right there, if you're in Mexico, in the southern part of Mexico, where it's actually you guys, I'm sure you're feeling it. I mean, a 5.0 magnitude earthquake. If you're in the south, anywhere in the south, you're gonna feel that. If you guys don't want to deal with that anymore, I suggest you move because it's not gonna stop there. I'm looking at the numbers, and the numbers don't lie. Good morning, YouTube. How you guys doing? Puerto Rico. Let me go all the way down to Puerto Rico and see. Get a lot of questions from Puerto Rico. So kind of let Puerto Rico. I'm sorry you guys got quakes today again. I'm kind of letting you guys know where not to be in Puerto Rico. Now here we go. You guys had two quakes this morning. One in both of them in the south. Now Indios, Indios, that part in Puerto Rico, Indios, I hope I pronounce it correctly, they got hit this morning with a big quake. All right. Now that's the south of Puerto Rico, as I said to you before. If you're south of Puerto Rico on the shorelines, please look out. It's very active there with quakes. All right. And there's another one that just happened a while ago. And now let me tell you another quake that happened in Puerto Rico this morning. It's at the same FUIG. I spelled that town. Chances are, if I try to pronounce it, I mispronounce it. That was a big quake, and it's on the south again. Now, at the extreme north of Puerto Rico, way out in the ocean, 61 kilometers. Now, there was a quake for 3.1 magnitude, but it's 61 kilometers north of the island. But most of the activity for Puerto Rico is at the south. If you're on the shoreline, as I said to you before, please be careful. And it's very active there in Puerto Rico in the south. All right. Watch yourself over there. Now, let me see what else is going on here. And Venezuela, there's a few tremors going on in Venezuela. Chile is getting stumped. Now, Chile, to the west of South America, Chile, you guys need to be careful over there on the shorelines because there's some big quakes going on. Now, let me take this all the way over to Japan. Japan is getting stumped again. Huge quakes. 4.4 earthquake just hit Japan. All right. Now, you see what I've noticed is that the quakes is getting fewer in quakes now. But what I also noticed is because where those small quakes used to happen a lot, like those under 2 and 2.0, 2.3, those small quakes have now gotten into 4s, but they've gotten a lot less. But I've never seen so many 4s and 5s before on this chart, which is kind of like, it boggles me a little bit. I'm like, I said to myself, But as if you really think about it, if the ground keep moving over and over and over and over again, there just a matter of time before these quakes are just going to get insanely big, and that's what's going on. But there's not as much activity as before, but there is still a lot of activity, which is not usual. This is completely unusual. But Russia again, Russia is still getting hit with big quakes. All right, so be very careful over there in Russia. Alaska, south of Alaska, is getting stumped. Normally, most of the quakes for Alaska happen on the outskirts of that piece of land. All right, Indonesia, guys, I can't tell you where to go into Indonesia because, as far as I can see, the quakes is literally all over Indonesia. If you're at the north, if you're at the south, if you're at the west or the east, but the quakes are actually in the water. They're not really happening on the land because the way Indonesia is set up, the fault line literally run right. They run alongside Indonesia, through Indonesia. I mean, there is at least, let me see, one, two, three, four, five fault lines running around Indonesia. I'm just gonna keep it real. If this video get to Indonesia, I'm letting you guys know. South of you, there's fault line. West of you, there's fault line, and there's a fault line literally running right through the country. So the best thing you can do if you're on the shoreline, please be careful. If you can move inland, please do so. The quakes are all over, and you guys are getting 5.0 magnitude. So I know you guys are going through a lot of tremors too. Philippines is getting whooped. Philippines just got hit 4.4 magnitude. And where else? Indonesia again just got hit. Now let me take this right over here. Indonesia again just got hit. The west of Indonesia. Wow, Indonesia is getting stumped today. And it's the smallest quake Indonesia got so far is 4.4. There's a 4. There's a 5. There's a 4.9. Listen to these numbers. China again just got hit. China got hit with a 5.4. China's going to get hit today all day. Yesterday they got hit. They got smacked at least 12 to 13 times with big quakes. So far they already got hit with a 5.4. China is going to get stumped. China's going to get stumped. So China, get ready. You guys are in for a day with huge quakes. Mongolia is also going through. There's a lot of big quakes happening in Mongolia. I don't really get any emails from Mongolia. No one really messaged me from there, so chances are this video really never get there. If it does, you guys be extremely careful. All the quakes for Mongolia is in the middle. That's where all the quakes are. Now for China, the quake for China is actually more to the west of China. That's where all the quakes are. Now the quakes are not on the east or in the south or the north. It's all of it is on the west of that country, all over the west. That's where all close to Afghanistan. That's where all the earthquake activities are. Afghanistan got hit also. So right over there, there's a fault line running through alongside China and running alongside Afghanistan. That fault line is extremely active. The land is moving because look at the numbers. The numbers never lie. Afghanistan got hit 4.3. There's a part in Afghanistan got hit 4.3. They got another big quake this morning at 4.7. And China got hit again at 5.4. Mongolia had another big quake at 4.7. This is what's going on right now. These quakes are insane. Iran never show up on this. Iran is now getting stumped. 4.3 quakes. Already they got a 4.3 quake. Afghanistan is on the list now. Nowhere in Europe right now. There is quakes, very, very small quakes under 2 magnitude in Greece and a few other places, but nothing alarming. So basically those are tremors. So if you're in Europe, you guys should chill right now. Most of the activity is actually in Cali lookout. So far, I'm looking at the map of the United States and all the quakes, all the dots for the quakes. They're on California. They're literally all over California. I can't tell you where to go in California. I really, really can't. The best advice I can give to people in California is that be aware and pay attention to your surroundings. There is quakes everywhere. I can't tell you where to go. I'll be lying to tell you where to go because I wouldn't know where to tell you to go. Looking at the chart every single day, it's everywhere in California. So there is nowhere to go in California. just be careful, be aware, and be alert. So let me see here. And yes, New Zealand. I didn't get to talk yesterday. I was supposed to explain to the folks in New Zealand where to go. So let me tell you where the quakes are in New Zealand. All the quakes are to the north of that country. If you're northeast, north or northeast, you're gonna get all the activities for the quakes. The people in the south of New Zealand, they're not gonna barely get anything because the quakes never at the south. The fault line run right along New Zealand and go all the way up north. And right at the tip of that fault line where it ended, the quakes never stop. Sometimes we hit up to 6 point something. Um, but they get a lot of fives in New Zealand. The northern part of New Zealand is getting smacked. So if you're at the extreme north on the shoreline, it's not going to stop. Extreme north, if you're at northeast, it's not going to stop. And if you go in a little bit, you're going to feel the tremors. I've noticed right there for weeks that I've been watching the quakes. That is where all the quakes are happening. Again, I'm getting message from New Zealand a lot. Guys, if you're in New Zealand, I'm not telling you what to do. And my disclaimer, I am not a professional. I'm not telling you where to go. I'm telling you where the quakes are. So if you're north, be extremely aware the quakes for weeks are always north and northeast. So you will feel the quakes more than anyone in New Zealand. And that's where all the quakes are happening. I hope this information helped you guys in New Zealand there. And you guys are in my prayers. I do see the activity of quakes there is extremely frequent and they're big. But the cool thing about it, guys, it's in the water. It's off out in the water, but there is chance of tsunami. And basically, I'm keeping it real. These numbers that I look at. They're just going to get worse. I know that. I am fully aware of it. It's kind of exciting knowing that I knew that decades ago that this was going to happen. But actually, now sitting here doing these live videos and looking at it, it's for me because I've been tracking earthquakes and those type of activity for really a long time. It's more or less like a hobby, but it's surreal. I mean, it's so surreal looking at these. First of all, I have been for the past 100 years since they've been recording earthquake. This information is extremely vital, and I want you guys to try to process this a little bit. Every year, the world get at least 7 to 8 major earthquakes, right? Meaning major earthquakes 7.0 and above. They call those major, and this has been happening now for 100 years since they've been recording earthquakes. So it's like a pattern that never changed. Do you guys have any idea how many major earthquakes we've had so far since 2021? You guys have any idea? We surpassed 7. And for the past 100 years, Earth has have a pattern of around 7 to 8 major earthquakes. We're March. We're 2.5 months in. We're 2.5 months in, and we already Earth already surpassed that. I want you guys to process these things. So when I found that out last night, I was like, "Are you kidding me? I didn't even know that." Even though I was watching earthquake, I wasn't watch. I was didn't really keeping track of all the. I know when the major earthquake happened, but I didn't keep the pattern of how many of them happen per year. So when I got that information in my head, I was like, "Whoa!" And then this has been going on for since 1900. This pattern since 1900 until 2020. That's 120 years. The Earth have a pattern of 7 to 8 major earthquake. That's 7.0 and above. We already passed that within 2.5 months in 2021. Plus the smaller earthquakes. Oh man, it not even I didn't know if it's quadruple or 6 times or 10 times or 20 for the amount of earthquakes Earth get on a yearly basis. They said the increase went up to like 1,300, almost 1,400%. It's going back down now, but it went up that far. Yeah, the quakes are insane, guys. I want you guys to be aware of these things. But that tells me now we already surpassed the average pattern of the amount of big quakes that Earth normally receive on a yearly basis within 2.5 months. Well, 2021 is going to be extremely interesting, guys. It is. And I think it's the year of the earthquakes. And as we progress into 2022, it's going to be remember happening in Iceland when people start freaking out. Iceland 2.0 is coming. Mark my word. What happened in Iceland will be Iceland 2.0, and it will be start happening in a lot of places because the gravitational pull on Earth will be stronger. All right. I'm not trying to force this information on people, but there is a planetary body in our solar system interacting with Earth. I will tell you that. And no, I am not crazy. It's where you find the Anunnakis. Now, that's for another day. But anyway, so once again, my friends in Puerto Rico, be very safe today. On the south, especially, you guys are getting hit now on the actually right there on the land. The quakes is right there on the land, the shorelines. So you guys be careful because you guys already got hit twice this morning. I know what's going on over there. So you guys have a great day. God bless you and stay safe, folks. And as I said to you before, I'm passing on this information to you guys is willingly. And if you guys really do believe what I'm saying is true from the bottom of your heart, I hope that you guys pass this information on to friends and family, share it, make them aware of what's happening with the quakes and so forth, for them to, also have that knowledge. And one day, you never know, you could save their life. This is what the purpose of it is. And good morning, Jim. Good morning there, Jim, on YouTube. Appreciate it, buddy. So I got to go. Can't stay too long. I got to get to the gym, get my workout on. So you guys have a blessed day and ciao.